Hey y'all, hi. Okay, here's what's going on. So a while back, actually kind of long time ago, actually a really long time ago, a lovely representative of Yesstyle reached out to me and asked if I would like to try some makeup for a video, which is something I've done in the past. It's kind of been a while, and I've been thinking about K-beauty, specifically around desaturated tones, green tones. A lot of you in the comments have been like, if you want desaturated makeup, you've got to try K-beauty. So I leapt at the opportunity. I was like, yes, let's do this. This video isn't sponsored by Yesstyle or anything. They just sent me the stuff to try and I got to pick it out. So what I did was I combed Yesstyle for any makeup that I thought could be called gray. And I was just like looking for the grayest makeup, like the most desaturated makeup of every type. And I had much more success finding makeup in those tones on Yesstyle, which primarily carries K-beauty and J-beauty, than I have when I'm looking at Sephora or Ulta. The package first went to my old address in LA, and it's taken a really long time to get it here. Like, it's been months. So there's also this added feature, which is that I've sort of lost touch with the process of choosing these things, and it's a little bit of a surprise. I do remember that I was really focused on trying to find the grayest possible makeup. And there are a couple of things that I've opened and played with a little bit since they arrived, but most of it I haven't opened yet. We're kind of halfway through the process of me figuring out what's going on here. Wow, this is a long introduction. So I'll just briefly say, I hope you subscribe. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And now let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. So I prepped my skin today with some skincare that actually came in the package from Yesstyle as well. And I decided to bring them down here and show you because my skin loved it. Loved this mask. It's a Centella Asiatica mask. So calming, redness reducing, nourishing, hydrating, etc. And the aesthetic is just so on point. I've been seeing this brand, Beauty of JOSEON. I hadn't tried anything by them, but I've been kind of seeing them around in K-beauty spaces. Everything they make seems to always have really good reviews and be like not super expensive. I mean, not a lot of K-beauty is, but also just so beautiful. Look at the mask. There are 10 in the pack, and I'm so glad that I have 9 more. It's a cloth mask. It's not a gel mask, but it's really, really, really thin. So it adhered to my skin very much like a second skin. It was very damp with serum, but it felt like it all kind of soaked in. It wasn't just like sagging off of my skin for a long time, which was good because I was like prepping and doing stuff around the house. Anyway, a smash hit for the skincare I've tried so far from this little group of products. Now let's get right into it with complexion. You all have been telling me forever to try the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream in shade 21 because apparently it's gray. And this isn't one of the ones that I have yet tried. This product has been around for a long time, like a long, long time. It is an iconic product from Misha, sort of the original BB cream, I feel. Let's see about the color. Okay, I see why you're saying that I should try it. It definitely has that gray beige tone. It looks like it might be a little bit on the dark-ish side for me, but not as dark as the gray toned Purito BB cream, which I always managed to make work despite the fact that it was several shades too dark for me because the gray tone just carried that product, made it work so well. It made everything that I mixed it with look amazing. This looks like I might not need to do as much mixing, but before I put it on my face, I want to show you this other really interesting product that I found when I was trawling Yesstyle. It's by the brand The Same, and it's the Cover Perfection Tip Concealer in, drumroll please, the shade Green Beige. Look at that color. Look at that color for a concealer. So there it is swatched next to the Misha product. You know, it's the green one. Still, both of these may be a little dark for like the brightening that I need in addition to color correcting and like the gray neutrality. I brought the Rose Ink Concealer down here just to see. Yeah, so this you can really see. That's the Rose Ink Concealer kind of close to my thumb. So that's a pretty spot on match for my skin tone, but you can see how they all have that sort of desaturated neutrality in common. And it'll be really interesting to play with these products. I'll put on a little bit of this. I feel like my skin's been a little sallow lately. It's like I have the redness and then I also have this sort of, I don't know, dinginess to my skin. It's like it needs some brightening or something. And this, because it's sort of that green beige, leans a little bit yellow and it doesn't really correct for that. Like it blended out, goes kind of yellow, like a yellowy green. But I mean, come on, it's cool. And the texture is beautiful. What's happening with it is that I'm getting the color correcting beautifully. Like the redness has just been completely obliterated in a very natural way, but I'm getting that without any brightening. And some of the more actively green, like super green color correctors that I've tested do a little bit of brightening as well. And this one, it doesn't do that. Here's a comparison just through the tube with the one from EXO, which is my favorite. I really appreciate the unusual color. That was like what I was after with this. It hasn't ended up knocking the products that I already prefer out of the water. But I think that probably for some of you, you're going to see that color and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been looking for. That's what I've been trying to find and I haven't been able to find it in Ulta or Sephora. Let's go in with this BB cream. It has a little bit of a floral scent, but it doesn't feel too heavy. That can be one of the drawbacks of K-beauty, especially like skincare and complexion stuff. Yeah, and it's basically doing what the Purito one always did, which is that it's going onto the skin so beautifully. I feel like actual OG BB creams, they get something right that the tinted moisturizers and like tinted oils and tinted serums that have all come out in the past several years don't really get right. I've talked before about how I don't like that feeling that I'm putting a lotion with some pigment in it onto my face. A BB cream, that's kind of what it is, but an elegant formula like this, it goes on like extremely skincare-y makeup rather than skincare that has pigment in it. It might sound like an arbitrary distinction, but to me, it's the world. Like it makes a huge difference. It would never be streaky or anything. It's makeup. Like it really is makeup. It's just super skincare-y makeup. So it's going on beautifully, feeling nourishing, maybe not staying as dewy as that Purito BB cream used to do, which is something that I appreciate these days. And it's giving me some coverage, but again, not brightening. You know what I mean? You can see how I'm still left with a face that's several shades darker than the rest of my body. But it's really lovely, especially for some light coverage. And I think in particular, I'll enjoy using this as a mix-in, like mixing it with other things just to get a more elegant spread and tone down oversaturation. And it'll be interesting to have it around for a while. I'm going to put some on the other side where I actually have more blemishes. There's a part of my face where I didn't have any of that color corrector on, so you can kind of see how it really looks on my skin. And I've really gotten some coverage, not all the coverage I'll need, but I've really gotten some coverage with a first rubbed in layer. This is really lovely formulaically. It's like it totally disappears into the skin, but it also provides the benefit of makeup. So that's with one really like rubbed in layer, like a layer that's applied all over the face in the manner of skincare or sunscreen. I kind of feel like I was applying and rubbing in sunscreen. It evened the tone some, it concealed some blemishes. I only have a little bit in the middle of my forehead. I didn't put it all over the entire forehead. Texture's looking beautiful. Sheen is looking very beautiful, but I appreciate that it's not dewy. It's set a little bit better than the other BB cream with which I had a long and healthy relationship. The one thing for me is just that it's too dark. I totally understand why everybody has told me that I should try this and said, maybe you'll find what you're looking for in the Misha BB cream in shade 21. It's just, I think maybe when it's just me on the screen and you're not able to compare me with other people, it's like hard to really understand how truly pale I am. And you can really see the difference there if you look at my neck, or even like the backs of my hands. It has helped to tone the redness down a little bit. It's made my skin feel more neutral. And I really appreciate the gray undertone. I really appreciate that neutrality. It's doing a lot for me. It's just not doing everything because it's not quite a match for me tonally. I'm just going to add a little bit of the rose ink in case I go on to film another video after this or something, just to kind of balance things out a little bit, but I'm not going to like put it all over. I'm going to put it on the high points. So those like focal points of my face are approaching a better match with the rest of me, although it's hard now that that BB cream has gone down in like a layer all over. It's kind of hard to bring it all the way back the other way in terms of lightness and brightness. Dang, I was going to spot conceal and I totally forgot to bring my NARS spot concealer down here. I'm just going to do it with this. So yeah, it could be worse. I mean, my skin looks very natural, I think. I know I keep saying this, but I particularly like the finish. But I feel like working from that base, there's just nothing I can do. I think what I need to do actually is to cover up how brightly white my neck is. And luckily I have a bunch of like gray powders with which to try to do that. I have way too much stuff here to put everything on my face, like the cheek part of my face, way more gray makeup for the cheeks than I can apply. So maybe I'll just let this be the way that I test this. Oh, it's also by Misha. The Misha Misha Cotton Contour in the shade Smoked Hazel. It's so gray toned and it's so pale. Oh, and it's so silky. It's so pale. I mean, you know I want to try that as a blush, but let's see what I can do. This is really finely milled. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I wasn't necessarily expecting it to feel so refined. Oh yeah, it's totally working though. So I didn't put it on this side yet. I put it on that side. That's nice. And it doesn't feel like it's super pigmented, so it's like I haven't gone overboard with it. My neck still looks kind of natural. The reason that I'm doing this is that I don't like that look of like a made up face just stuck on top of like a natural neck. And I feel like having a really different tone, color tone, either a neck that's much darker and then you have like this light face or vice versa. That is like a look that you've painted on a mask of makeup, even if you've gone for a natural look with your makeup. And it's just something that I'm averse to. So I'm always trying to make sure that the overall look of my skin is natural, not just on my skin, but in the overall picture, like pretty close in tone to the rest of my body so that I'm not giving that impression that I've painted my face. Even though my skin, because I have so much redness and right now sort of sallowness, when I wake up in the morning, my face is often many shades darker than my neck. That's one of the things I'm trying to correct for. But if I correct for it without also lightening the face somehow, I end up looking like I've painted on a bunch of dark makeup onto pale skin. And usually I use like a bronzing product or that Kevyn Aucoin Neo highlighter, which sort of has a peachy tone. Usually I use that for my neck, but I actually think I like this Misha product better than anything that I have already for this purpose of just like taking that luminous green white quality off of my neck a little bit. Okay, let's move on to eyes. So I didn't get like matte gray eyeshadow because that's not that hard to find. I wanted to try some Yesstyle eyeshadows that I felt like were sort of unique to the offerings of Yesstyle in other ways as well. And I've always been curious about these. The Can Make Jewelry Shadow Veil. The two little sides of them look the same. I wonder what the difference is. So I got this kind of pale ballet pink shade, and then I got this white silver shade because it's closer to gray. The shade names aren't on the packages in English, but of course I'll link everything down below. Just so curious about textures. So the right side, those are the two textures. This was the right side and that was the left side. One side is like marginally more flaky and the other side is like a bit more finely milled, but I don't know, y'all. They're also not looking all that shiny in the swatches. Like I'm not feeling a great amount of promise. I feel like this had good reviews and everyone was like, it's so shiny. Okay, the pink one is very pretty to me in color, but still it's a little bit hard to tell the difference. I feel like I just need to put these on my eyes. All right, I'm gonna start with the less flaky side of the pink one. No, this is like, it barely exists. I mean, it's very subtle. I'm putting the shinier one on. The shinier one has a bit more texture. Now it's all over that eye, but it's very subtle. I mean, if you want to like tiptoe into a teeny bit of textury shimmer on the eye, tee-hee-hee, but you are like not looking to create an eye look, really. You just want to have something to like brush on your eyes and go, and it's never going to be too much. And in fact, it's like barely noticeable, then this would be great for you. And I know that there are people who want that, and I'm not trying to detract from that or say that that's not a good way to be. It's just if you're out here with, you know, Pat McGrath palettes like I am, with those special shades that are just like molten silver on the lids, you know, this doesn't hold a candle to that. Although now that it's on, I feel like you can't see anything in the camera, but I'm sort of catching like a glisten on my brow bone in person, like in the mirror that's here. That's kind of nice. It's really subtle. I am curious to know how my relationship with these will develop because right out of the gate with swatching and putting on the eyes, as a reviewer, I'm like, it barely exists. But now that it's on and I see myself, I'm realizing that I'm kind of more into subtle eye makeup these days, and I've been going a lot of days where I put nothing on my lids. Sometimes I almost reach for something super shiny and then I think, no, I'll just go with nothing. But it's not quite wet look. It's sort of like a slight sheen. I'm actually gonna just put a little of the silver in the center of my lids to see. It's also really dry and flaking kind of gets everywhere, and it's a little bit hard to control. But I also didn't prime my lids today, so it might be that it's having a hard time sticking. Wow, I have no idea how it's gonna go between these and me. My first reaction was like, pshaw, you I was just like, what is this? And now I could sort of see a future in which I wear this almost every day, like for the entire summer. It's rare for me that my first impression is like swinging wildly across the entire spectrum of reactions. And all I can tell you is that I have no idea and I need to spend more time with it. But that's where we're at. Maybe I will have a more evolved opinion by the end of the video. But for now, let's move on to this really interesting product. This is the Rom and Han All Fix Mascara, and it comes in a bunch of really interesting pale shades. So this is shade LO2, and I can't remember. Oh no, it has it right on here. LO2, Long Ash. Long Ash. The shade is Ash. It's like a taupish gray color. I think that this mascara comes in different kinds of formulas. I think that there's like a long, it's like a lengthening, and then there's one that's more volume, and then it comes in all of these different interesting shades. That's the brush. Hopefully you can see on the black brush what the color is like, actually. Just kind of like an ashy brown. Not as gray as I had imagined, and kind of not as pale as I had sort of hoped, but still. This is one of the products I've already tried because I was super excited. It's already demonstrating its least attractive quality, which is that it's so difficult to remove. So I just did that swatch like 30 seconds ago, and I'm trying to remove it right now, rubbing with a damp cloth, and it's like really, really sticking. It is so difficult to remove at the end of the day. And it's sad because I really like what it does. I'll apply it right now. It gives this sort of natural, soft, but also kind of a tangled lash look. It's like a wood nymph kind of just woke up from a nap sort of look. Not quite wispy because it's not super even and combed through, but very natural and easy. Actually, that ended up looking pretty wispy. It's just if you keep building and building it, which I want to do, it'll start getting kind of more fibrous and tangled. And that's what it did yesterday when I tried it. Yeah, it's already doing it here, which I like. I really like it. But I'll tell you, last night, trying to remove this, it was like 3 rounds of balm cleanser interspersed with other soap cleansers. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it to me. It isn't advertised as a waterproof mascara. If it had been, I wouldn't have requested it for this video because I don't like fighting with my mascara at the end of the day. I feel like it's not good for my lashes. But I love the color and I like the formula. I like how it looks. And I just can't see myself ever wearing it again because I feel like the one reason to wear it, holding this mirror up, made me realize I had the sparkle flakes of eyeshadow all over my face. The one reason to wear it would be in a situation where I really want like the qualities of a waterproof mascara. So I could see myself wearing something with this formula to dance tango, for example. But when I'm getting ready to dance tango, I'm wearing more dramatic makeup. So I wouldn't be reaching for a wispy ash colored mascara in that situation. I want something in this color and, formula, except for the thing about getting it off at the end of the day, for everyday wear. Something that I can just throw on any day. And those are the days when least of all do I want to be worrying about how it's going to be to fight with my lashes at the end of the day. So it's kind of a no. Like the stars didn't align. It's kind of a no for me. But I know that there are a lot of people out there who use more heavy-duty lash makeup removers, mascara removers, more heavy-duty eye makeup removers that would cut through this product more easily, and you are looking for something kind of waterproof for every day. So maybe it will work for you. But for me, it's a no. Okay, on to the realm of cheeks. So interesting. So I showed you the Misha Cotton Contour. I also have the same single blusher. It's a powder blush in Cloudy Brown. Look at that. Oh, also so silky that it almost feels creamy. And it's sort of green. You see that? It's sort of green, which is good for me. I also have these 2 products from CanMake. This is something I've always wanted to try from CanMake. It's a cream highlight, but it's way smaller than I expected it to be. It's in the shade 01. It's so cute. I think I expected this to be the size of the CanMake Cream Cheek, which is also small, but it's like twice as big as this, Wow, it looks really, really pretty, really subtle. You can see it shining there, right? That's really, really pretty. Oof, I'm so tempted to put that on, but the other CanMake product that I have is also a powder, and I don't know, it's sort of going on as like a cream to powder, the highlight. I might risk it. I might risk layering it. Okay, look at this. CanMake Glow Fleur Cheeks. Isn't that pretty? Oops, the brush fell out. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, and it's so shiny. I think I didn't realize that. So this obviously isn't that gray, but oh my gosh, what a pretty color. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna try to do it all. I'm gonna try to try them all and hope they don't mess each other up. So first I'm just gonna put a little bit of this highlight on because it's definitely that powdery formula. It's like, it's a cream, but it's like getting really soft and powdery on the cheeks. It's not staying tacky. Sort of reminds me of the Rose Ink highlight, like finely milled sand, just kept together with a little bit of interstitial matter. And it reminds me of the Rose Ink highlight in the way that it reflects too, not like beaming from space, but I think under certain lighting conditions, especially natural light, it would look really glossy and pretty. I'm gonna have to spend some more time with that one, but it's intriguing me. So far, so good with that. Now let's try this greenish brown blush. So just for comparison, here are the two powders. So the one I put on my neck is lighter. It's lighter in color. It's like lighter and more gray. That was the Cotton Contour. I'm gonna use that same fluffy brush for this because I'm actually worried about it being a little bit too, I was going to say I'm worried about it being too dark or too pigmented or something, but I needn't have worried. It's K-Beauty. I feel like it's always very lightly pigmented. So it's lightly pigmented. It's going on over that sort of cream to powder highlight. But here's the thing. It's like, it doesn't look greenish brown on my face. It ends up looking, I'm trying to build it up a lot so you can really see it. It ends up looking just like a neutral blush color, which I think I might really end up liking this because it's so natural. Like even the palest pink or mauve blushes look so bright on me. This greeny brown looks so natural. I'm also aware that my base makeup today isn't like my ideal, because I was testing base makeup, but I'm so excited to try this some more because I feel like what it's done is sort of darkened my cheeks a little bit. I was saying that about my base makeup because it's just, I feel like it's getting a little patchy, like under here as it drifts down, like there, where I just, I didn't spot conceal the way that I usually do. Whatever, I'm just testing makeup for you. It looks like my cheeks have sort of a slightly darkened, healthy flush, but without bright color. And it's shocking that it's like, this is what gave me that effect. But this is like what I've been looking for my whole life. And I feel like it might even be even better with the Misha Cotton Contour. I can't really fit it in on my cheeks on top of everything else that I've done. But based on how it applied to my neck, I'm equally excited to try that one. This might be the most exciting thing of the whole video so far. So let's do the Can Make blush, this really pretty one. When I swatched it, did look like it had more color in it, you know what I mean? Yeah, more color, a little bit of shine, but the shine is not very strong, especially compared to kind of how it looked in the compact before I swatched it. I think maybe some of that was an overspray. In fact, I think all of it was an overspray except that this little pale patch in the upper corner is a highlight. So it's like you can sort of choose how much of that you want mixed in. Yeah, definitely more color, but still pale and subtle. You know what I mean? Still a wash and still something that's gonna be super easy for me to wear. I'm excited about these blushes, y'all. These powder blushes. They're not all really, really gray, but they're all giving me something that's just so hard for me to find. All right, I'm gonna clean up under here. I am gonna go in with just a little more of the concealer. I can't tell if it's just because I've been applying, blush to my face willy-nilly, almost in the manner of makeup playtime, or if it's because I layered so many products on top of each other, or if it's because I put powders on top of cream. So I'm getting sort of this patchy business over here. Like it's not the most elegant, but I can tell that the products are gonna be great for me, or at the very least, I'm really excited to experiment with them more. Now, if I remember correctly, and again, it's been months since I requested these products, if I remember correctly, it was hard to find a really, really, really gray lip product, or even a really pale one. I think that there were a couple of options, but they were sold out at the time. And so I just got two products that seemed kind of promising, seemed like the kind of thing that I'm into, and that might serve the purpose of this experiment. The outer packaging, I haven't opened either of them yet. The outer packaging of both of them looks really orangey neutral, you know what I mean? Like that orange brown, not my favorite, but sometimes the inside and outside packagings don't match. So this skinny one is the 3CE Style Nanda Velvet Lip Tint, which actually is a product I've tried before in the shade #NewNude. That's the packaging. Yeah, I'm sure this is darker in person even than it looked in the images is online, because I actually don't even know why I would have picked this like dark orange peach for myself, no matter what kind of video I was trying to make. I mean, it could be pretty. It's just not really the like innovative color that I have been trying for this video. I'm sort of worried that the other one will be the same. So this is a 3CE lip color, like just the regular lipstick in the shade 219 Brilliant. Oh, this is a little more promising. This looks a little more pale. Still so orange though. They're both just orange, like straight up orange, salmon. But I'll try this one on first. Oh, I like this matte formula. Very easy to apply. So the way it's ended up looking on me, I would call that a coral, like a bright coral, a brilliant coral, if you will. It's like a statement matte lip on me, and I don't think that it looks bad. It's just not the kind of color that I like these days for my statement lipsticks, which it's not necessarily an aesthetic consideration, you know, like I think that other people with my exact coloring, this might be their preferred lip color. And in fact, I do like it a little bit better than the like watermelon coral that more pink coral lipsticks tend to lean. Just checking how my teeth look. They look gray a little bit. Yeah, they look a little gray to me. I don't hate it. It's just I wouldn't buy it. You know, I wouldn't buy this color. I would maybe buy this lipstick in a different color. And I think that for each of these formulas, there is one in the range that's like a very, very pale color, more gray, more neutral, and just, again, wasn't in stock. Or maybe I'm remembering that wrong and they just don't look as light in color in person as they did online. But the formula is really lovely. It's one of those ones that feels kind of creamy and thin, but sturdy in its matteness, you know? I'm gonna try the other one. And this is one of those soft matte lip creams. Like actually a bunch of Western brands have come out with this kind of thing recently, but this is the OG. It's like a matte moussey cream that feels kind of slidey, almost silicone-y, and it doesn't dry down. So it's like a liquid lipstick, but it doesn't dry. Weirdly, it's lighter than the other one on me. When I swatched them, this one looked darker. I feel like it's a little bit maybe milkier, like a little more white based than the other one. And I kind of like it better. They both have kind of a soft coconutty scent. This feels a little more wearable to me. It's almost got like a pink or nude quality, but still doesn't hold a candle to like my favorite lipsticks. That amazing neutral sort of mauve-y brown that I recently tried from L'Oreal, like that drugstore lipstick in, what was it called? Les Nude or something like that. I'll link it. I just couldn't wait to wear that color again. You know what I mean? And this is just, I have that feeling like, oh, it could work. Like, oh, I could make it work. That's not how I want to feel about my stuff. I want to feel like, wow, I love it so much. It's perfect. I can't wait to wear it tomorrow. But it'll do for now for me to just finish this video and kind of like give a recap of everything. You know, some of the makeup is more gray than some of the other makeup. I feel like it's classic that I was like, I tried a bunch of gray makeup and I ended up looking pretty orange overall. You know what I mean? Like overall, my complexion has this sort of sunsetty warmth to it. And then the cheeks also, and the lips and everything. It's like, even seeking gray makeup, straight up gray, it's ending me up in like this warm toned orange look. It's the bane of my existence. But some of it's fantastic. So let's just recap. Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream. I totally understand why this is a cult classic. It's fantastic. The formula is fantastic. I think that for a lot of people who have some of my same concerns but aren't quite as pale as I am, this color 21 will actually also be fantastic. It's delivering something difficult to find. Fortunately for me, it's just too dark for it to be something that's easy to use. And I kind of feel the same way about this, the same green beige color corrector concealer. It's going to be a godsend to someone, but for me, it's just a little bit too dark and has a little bit too much of that yellow green in it to be the exact opposite of what ails my skin tonally. Mixing with some of my own complexion products or just the Rose Ink concealer in the lightest shade, though I feel like my skin ended up looking pretty good today. So they aren't fails, they're just not smash hits for me. The eye makeup. All right, after being such a Debbie Downer when I first swatched them and so confused and being like, ugh, no, it's nothing, I think I might love them. I think I might kind of love the just easy, effortless, didn't try too hard, soft, wet gleam, and how cute and little they are. I don't know. Stay tuned on these for sure. They will be back on the channel. Like I will be reporting back. But the look, the way that my eyes look, almost blank like almost nothing, but just a little something, has grown on me over the course of the video. And those are the Can Make Jewelry Shadow Veil Compacts. If you order them based on what I'm saying, just be prepared. It's like, they're like kids' makeup. Like I think that that's kind of what I like. They feel like toys, almost comically so. And there's no pigment, it's just these shimmery particles. And there's barely any adhesive matter either. They're just sort of shimmery particles stuck to my eyelids. But there's something about the gleam and the easiness of it, sort of. There's something about it that's working for me. I just don't want you to get the wrong idea. The mascara, beautiful in every way, except really difficult to take off at the end of the day, and I'm not about that life. The cheek products, definitely the most exciting part of this video for me. I think I'm the most excited about these two powders, the Misha Cotton Contour and the same Samuel single blusher in Cloudy Brown. But these two Can Make products are kind of close on their heels. Oh, so just basically these two, really, really finely milled, not super pigmented, so buildable, easy to apply, hard to mess up. I mean, I love them. But I'm also excited about these. I feel like this kind of provided for me, and that's the Can Make Glow Fleur Cheeks. It's kind of provided for me what I've been getting from my Chantecaille, the Lotus collection blush, that really, really sort of semi-sheer wash of shine pigment that color-wise, it is sort of a deep mauve, but it's so semi-sheer that it's easy for me to get a light look. And I reach for that all the time. Like that's basically been my most worn blush for the past couple of months. This feels like a dupe for that, actually. I mean, this is a first impression, so I'll have to keep trying it, but I feel excited to keep using this in the way that I'm excited to use that whenever I use it. And I'm also really intrigued by this little teeny tiny, also like kids makeup. It's like a Polly Pocket cream to powder. It's like a cheek shine thing. It's really hard for me to open with these nails, and I'm just gonna stop trying right now because you saw me. You saw it. Also dinky, but fascinating and something that I could kind of see myself just wearing a lot on no makeup days. Just kind of like reaching for over and over and over again because it's so fun and simple and easy kind of. And natural. Impossible to overdo, impossible to look overdone. You know, I'm kind of into that. On the contrary, these like coral lipsticks that are called nudes and looked nude in the listings, but are really bright coral on me, I'm just not that into it. The 3CE lip product formulas are great formula-wise, but the colors don't have that grungy neutrality that I crave. So I think both of them are going to be, for me, a no, not quite. A little bit of a miss. Oh, and don't forget the skincare. Awesome so far. That's like a real win. And that's it. What fun. And thanks so much to Yesstyle for sending all of these products for me to review in this way. I think I have a code with them. I had one in the past. It stopped working. Never really got it together. I think that with this round, this resuscitated relationship with Yesstyle, I think that either my old code now works or I have a new code. I will get it sorted out 100,000% for sure before posting this video, and I'll put it in the description box so that you'll know. As always, thank you all so much for watching, for being subscribed if you are, for commenting, liking, etc., etc. And don't forget to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.